Alright, here for match 4, not 3, against Tim Campy, also near the top of the leaderboards. So I keep this hand. It's 2 islands, counterspell, deprive, augur, which is pretty good, and a bolt for good measure. So getting pretty lucky with our keeps. Our opponent is playing, looks like Boros or maybe Bully. I think Bully is more likely to lead on Windscarred Crag, but only by a little bit. I didn't see what I scribed there, sorry. Should have looked. So they Faithless Looting, get their graveyard value. And I slam an augur. And what do I get? Opt. Yeah, so I don't know if this is correct, but I decided to take Opt just because I think I'm going to leave up one of these counter spells next turn. And I want to be able to use the mana if I decide not to counter something. So they're really Faithless Looting a lot. And they get a Boros Garrison, discard 2 lands, so they're probably flooded or something, I don't know. So this turn, they can't really play the Monarch. The worst they could do is Battle Screech, and they can only Battle Screech 1 time. So I believe what I do here is I bolt the Thraben Inspector and then pick up my Augur with a Ninja. So that's going to draw me 2 more cards. They play Seeker of the Way and bolt my Ninja, which is about as good as they could do. And they have a Plains up, which doesn't really signal anything. I don't think they have anything they could play for just 1 white mana. So I'd probably decide to just Scred this guy and shuffle my library and probably leave up Counterspell. Now that they've got 4 mana, and they just discarded a bunch of lands with Faithless Looting, so they might have a Monarch card plus like a Bolt for my Faeries here. So I think I'm just going to leave up Counterspell this turn. Oh no, I just slam Augur. So I guess if they have like Bolt plus Monarch, I could be in trouble, but I don't know. With the stuff I have in my hand, I'm not likely to be able to really contest the Monarch, so I probably should have just left up Counterspell and played Augur next turn. As it turns out, all they have is Battle Screech, so I'm not really afraid of that. So here's kind of a nice trick. I play Mantle of Tides, and then I leave up Brainstorm. So I can instant speed equip this Mantle of Tides to either of my creatures. And they're not going to block Augur. And if they block my guy, I'm just going to Brainstorm, kill their guy, and then Ninja my Augur back in. So they didn't even block, so I just played my Ninja and used it to equip itself with Mantle of Tides. And I just Brainstorm. I guess I'm going to put back Spell Stutter Sprite and maybe another land. I probably got another land drop between Brainstorm and Opt, so I'm not really thirsty for land. Oh, I put back Counterspell. Not really sure why, but I probably should have put back another land, but I don't know. They're not really doing too much. They're just killing my stuff. So they have enough tokens they can flash back their Battle Screech. So I guess what we really need to be worried about is like a Rally the Peasants. So I brainstormed and I put a accumulated knowledge plus evolving wilds on top. My hand's actually pretty great. I have a brainstorm which I can use to equip and block something. I also have an auger, so I'll probably just pick up the AK with the auger. And I think I leave back the fairy. Although if I leave it back, it's not really getting much better for me. They've only got 4 lands, luckily, so they can't rally the peasants plus flash it back. I definitely am going to leave up 2 mana this turn. I might just opt. We'll see. Well, actually, there's no reason for me to do anything because all this stuff is instants. So we'll see if I attack. Okay, I do. They're at 11, so I guess one thing about getting them really low on life is that eventually I'm going to draw one of my Fists of Flame, and that could just beat them up. So I counter the second half of a Battle Screech. And let's see. So what was I thinking? I pick up a land. I don't know. They've used up all their mana though, so I get to opt put fairies here on the bottom. And then I AK on my main phase, hoping to hit maybe another counter spell. They play Faithless Looting. Also, they have 4 cards in hand. I guess last turn they just cracked clues. Yeah, they're kind of stuck on mana, which maybe they shouldn't have discarded the Garrison earlier, but it's pretty likely that they'll hit off this Faithless Looting, so I'm just going to counter it. And they can't kill me unless they have like rights of initiation or something weird, but I am going to block the birds with my fairies. Alright, and I get to AK again, which is sweet. They bolt my spell stutter, which, okay. And I scry a counter spell to the top, so I have that on command when I want it. So I brainstormed there. I don't know why I brainstormed there. I guess I was hoping to hit Fists of Flame. Yeah, they don't have a Strands in the yard. I should have just Fists of Flame. That would have been lethal. But I guess I just miscounted that it was 4 cards. But Fists of Flame draws me a card, so it would have been 5. But either way, there's really no way for me to lose this game now that I have double counter spells in my hand. Yeah, so I'm not blocking anymore. I just want to push through damage. Ponder draws me a card. It draws me another card. I get to attack. And they can Strands twice, but I can counter it twice. So... And I've drawn enough cards with a Fist of Flame to also deal lethal. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe a little loose that game. Also, I only have 16 seconds on my clock, so I'll have to tighten it up for next game. Alright, game 2. We're on the draw. And let's see, this hand looks great. As far as sideboarding goes, I took out all the AKs and most of the removal. I just brought in a bunch of counter spells. And deep analysis, I guess. I'm not really sure why I took out all the AKs. They're not that great, but they're not bad either. They let me sort of hold up counter spell. I don't know. But I would rather just have counter. Like, I know a lot of their stuff has flashback and is sort of designed to get around counter magic, but I feel like this deck just generates enough card advantage to where it doesn't really matter if their stuff gets flashed back. So I took a brainstorm instead of a Fist of Flame. I don't know if that's correct, but brainstorm kind of supercharges my Fist of Flame, especially now that I don't have accumulated knowledge. So I'm going to attack here. I play the Mantle of Tides sort of as a bait, because if they want to block, then I can like opt or something and then kill their Seeker of the Way, maybe, unless they have like a lightning bolt. But they don't block, and I just ninja. They could bolt it, but they don't have one, which is sweet. They do have a Battle Screech, but it's nice to have the ninja online and rebuy my auger. So they're getting in for a lot of damage. I'm going to attack. They chump block. Oh, I brought in Relic too, I guess. So I just kill their Seeker. That's pretty much what you want to do in this matchup, is just kill Seeker right away. And then I'm going to play Augur. I managed to find Ponder off of it. And they play Guardian of the Guild Pack, which is a problem. I don't really have a way to deal with it, so I'm going to have to race. But I don't really have any life gain either. And besides Fist of Flame, I have no real way to push through my ninja. But on the plus side, my ninja's big enough to not get killed by the Guardian. So I can't really block, but one thing I can do is I can attack with both. and then ninja my augur in, because they're going to block the ninja for sure. So I believe I keep off of this. It's kind of medium. Yeah, I guess I shuffled. So I didn't really want to draw Spell Stutter there, or whatever the other card was. I think it was another Ponder. But it's probably worth picking up my augur and getting in for an extra damage. I don't know for sure though. But we draw Fist of Flame, which is kind of our only out this game. Relic is not very good right now. So I leave the mantle on the ninja, as I told you earlier. And I should have attacked with augur here. I don't know, he's not going to block, so. Also, I don't have Electricity in the deck, so I'm probably going to put one in after this league. It would have come in really handy against both Boros decks and also against elves, which is match 5. So okay, so I basically brainstorm, see that I can't really do much, and they're gonna kill me next turn no matter what. So I just concede that game. In game 3, we're on the play, which is where you want to be. Alright, so I keep this hand. This hand's great. I put the accumulated knowledge back in. I take the relic out. My reasoning for taking relic out is basically that they don't really have much flashback stuff, and all the flashback stuff they could just play in the same turn. So relic isn't really that helpful. I also take out the Screds just because I feel like most of their creatures are not really that important. And it doesn't really kill Guardian of the Guild Pact. It kills Seeker of the Way, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I could just like counter Seeker of the Way or play around it somehow. I also cite in another Blue Blast just because I want my creatures to live. I feel like if I could get a ninja down and equip it with Mantle and protect it with Blue Blast, then I'm just gonna win the game. So I ponder on turn 1. Also, I have so many counter spells that I think it's worth having them. Alright, so Brainstorm, Deprive, Fairy, Trickery. This is pretty good. So I leave it all on top. And the card I least want is Ponder. So I decided to just play Augur, and maybe if I find something better, then I can get that with Augur. I get a counter spell. So we're pretty well set up for them to not play anything for the rest of the game. And also we drew another AK, which is great. Luckily for us, they didn't really have a Seeker of the Way. I guess one other way I could kill Seeker is if they attack me and then I fist one of my own creatures and block. That's probably the only way I'm going to kill it, but luckily they didn't have one, so alright. So I decided to just AK and Brainstorm as a cantrip. I find 2 ninjas and a land, which is insane. I still can't really attack though, so whatever. So I shuffle off the top of my deck again, and I draw another AK. So they're stuck on lands too, so I'm like, should I counterspell this? But I think I decide not to, just because there's so many important stuff I can counterspell. So I AK to see if I'm going to draw anything, and I'm not really going to draw anything, but I am going to draw faeries here, which is going to let me ninja. So we're going to have to discard. I think I discard one of the ninjas. Yeah. Just because you only really need one. They're stuck on lands. We don't even AK just because our hand's kind of already perfect. And yeah, it's kind of a non-game, but what are you gonna do? Like, I'll take what I can get. I probably should not have played Fairy Seer there, just in case they have like Journey plus a burn spell. I want to be able to counter them both. Yeah, and they end up having 2 removal spells, but honestly, I guess my thought process was that this accumulated knowledge is going to draw me 4 cards, so who cares, right? So I just attack. So they're finally drawing lands, so I don't know, maybe it'll be a game, but AK is just so good. And I've got like 6 counter spells in my hand, so yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot Fist the Flame. But we Fist the Flame here. And they have a Strands in the yard, but they don't use it. They draw Squadron Hawk and Secret Away, and we counter both. I don't know why I wouldn't counter the Secret Away. So I guess they burned through most of our counter spells. I don't know why I didn't Brainstorm. Or even Fairy Seer into Augur. But I guess I just want to draw another counter spell or my Mystic Sanctuary. And I want to have the most looks at it that I could possibly have. So I take a opt. And I opt to land to the bottom and I ninja in my spell stutter. So now I have another spell stutter in my hand. And they just scoop it up. Yeah, kind of a non-game. They didn't draw lands for so long, but like I said, I'll take what I can get. All right, on to match 5.